Have you ever been hacked? It's a nightmare that I experienced about 3 years ago, and I don't want you to go through the same nightmare. So in this episode of the vlog, I'm going to share 5 tips of what not to do to make sure you don't get hacked on your social media accounts and on your web properties. So I made a terrible decision about 3 years ago, and I emailed a password in an insecure place to some of my online web properties and social media accounts, and it led to a snowball of effects that took me 6 months to recover from. Literally kept me up at night for nights on end. It was a nightmare that seemed like it would never go away. I don't want you to make the same mistake. I thought, you know what, if somebody hacks me, I'll change my password. What's the worst they can do? It was bad. It was really bad, I'll tell you that. And I've talked to friends who had it much worse. So before it happens to you, or if it already happened to you, make sure you don't do these 5 things that I'm about to share. The first thing that I hear so often, and the recommendation that I would encourage you not to do, is just to write all of your passwords on one sheet of paper and just have it, that document. Maybe even Xerox it, is what I hear of other people doing, and say, here's our password sheet. Don't do that. Now, maybe you write down in a kind of a secure manner that doesn't give away what everything is, and so you use some notes. But don't just write down a list of username and passwords on a piece of paper that people can easily take a picture of and utilize, and it's kind of a permanent place for all of the passwords. Don't do that. The second thing not to do, and I experience this often, is don't email usernames and passwords. Don't in one email just say, here's the username and password, go get them. That's a big mistake. Now, I think you can email a username and then text a password or call. Best thing to do is do this over voice. Do it over a phone call. Do it face to face as you share that. And then as you use a software, and we'll get to that you can keep your passwords within in a more encrypted manner. But don't just email, here's the username and password. You don't know where that email might get forwarded, where that email might get hacked, and then they could search that email and find it. Don't email usernames and passwords in the same email. Number 3, and this makes me sick, don't use the same password for everything. Almost everyone does this, and it kills me. And this is something that I did for a long time, is don't use the same password for everything. I know it's easier. I know it's easier to remember, and I know it's hard to have a different password for everything. But when you do that, if somebody gets that password, they have access to everything. So don't use the same password from everything. Don't do it. The 4th thing not to do is don't put all the passwords on a spreadsheet in the cloud that everyone has access to. You don't know who's going to screenshot that. You don't know where they're going to save that, what's going to happen to it. I know that's easy to share things in the cloud, but having all of your passwords is not a secure way that it's very visible, where somebody can take a picture of it, or somebody can screenshot it, or somebody can copy and paste from that spreadsheet. Don't just leave all of your username and passwords on one spreadsheet in the cloud. It happens too often. Don't do it. Now, the last tip of what not to do with your passwords is don't use the word password for all of your passwords. I know you can change the A to an @ symbol, or you change the S's to $signs. Don't do that. So many people have done that. It's so easy to hack when you use the word password for all of your passwords. This goes back to number 3 of using the same password. And if you're going to do that, definitely don't use the word password for your passwords. It's just not secure. Don't do it. Now, I hope this video has helped you prevent your social media and accounts and web properties from getting hacked. I hope you will not use some of these features. Some of the tools out there that I do recommend is 1Pass or LastPass, or I think it's 1Password and LastPass, are great tools to keep your passwords encrypted, where you can share them and then pull rights from people. So using a tool like that is a great way to make sure you keep your passwords in one place. It is easier to use. You can use it on your mobile device, on your desktop, but make sure you use these best practices. Don't let your social media accounts and your web properties get hacked by not managing them effectively. I hope this video has helped you. I appreciate you letting me be your social media guide. If you would subscribe to this channel, I would love to be able to share all of my other videos with you, or just browse through some of our other videos. I hope they'll be helpful for you. Thanks for letting me be your social media guide.